Welcome to Mom and Me, where we deep dive into the chaos of motherhood. I'm Niti Praveen, an entrepreneur, a techie, a hustler by attitude, and a mother to a beautiful 1 year old. He is taking you through this journey along with me. Join me as we discuss about the highs, the lows, the unspoken truth, and the wins of motherhood. Because motherhood is not just a role, but it's a revolution. So let's rise together. Joining me today is Shruti, who is a Kumon franchise owner, is mother to three amazing sons, and what makes Shruti different is her happy-go-lucky attitude. Welcome to the podcast, Shruti.
Thank you, Niti, and welcome to our beautiful Kumon.
How have you been?
I have been amazing.
Shruti, how do you manage all of this? Like three kids, come on, and what was the struggle of the motherhood for you?
I think the first question is asked by everybody, like, how do I manage it? I think it's the support system which I have, and I'm very lucky. I have a very strong support system that helps me, my family, to get me all together. And struggle, I would say that every mom has their own struggle, but for me, it was like having my twins. So I got like two bundles all together as a package. So it was a little difficult phase during that point of time where I did realize that how can I do this two responsibility together. So I think that was the most troubling part during the beginning of the days for me.
What was the point where you thought that your identity is now being changed? Or did you felt ever that your motherhood changed your identity?
Well, I think it made me more stronger when I saw that, I'm able to manage, one kid, then two more, so almost like three kids. I think it becomes like, it comes from inner that, oh, I can do more. Um, and I think that kind of attitude helped me to be like, taking up more responsibilities and becoming like, oh, I can try this. Maybe I will be able to handle it. And I think baby steps helped me to, you know, come on, let's do this, let's do this, another new thing.
One day at a time, you think.
Yeah, it was very simple words, like one step at a time.
Very nice. So, Shruti, according to you, because you are an immigrant, so as I, what do you think that if people would have understand this or that thing better about an immigrant would help you? So, you think that during your journey, being an immigrant, something could have supported you?
Well, I don't know. During my beginning part of when I was an immigrant, I was mostly trying to learn more and more things about the country. Where it was food, driving new car, making those changes in your life that you have not done in India. So I think it was a part where I was sitting idle. I didn't have any job, and coming from a place where you were working before, and then all of a sudden you don't have anything to do. But then I moved myself to another thing. I used to work as a volunteer in library, do some extra things which just made me learn more about this country. And I think that what the women should do if they don't have anything extra, just to understand the culture of the country.
Got it. And so tapping into my next question, because this is such an amazing thing that you just didn't went through the struggle of motherhood. You also opened a franchise of your own without anyone's support. So as far as I know, no one you know has this franchise, right? So how did you decided to go for it? What was the struggle? What was the point where you thought I'm gonna do this? And then how did you actually achieve it?
I think after my first child was born, and many of the people know that he has some special needs which we were dealing through that time. And I also wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, I wanted to do towards education. And I think the first thing which popped up into my mind was Kumon. And that was the reason where I started my one step of the journey towards understanding how I can become a franchisee owner. So that made me lead towards, okay, this is the way where I had to go.
So does Kumon guide you through this process? What role Kumon franchise played in you being you?
Well, I think franchisee itself helps a lot a lot of things to make it easier for you if you are an eligible candidate. They have a beautiful training which they gives you all kind of resources to make you a perfect instructor. So I think they have a wonderful program which makes you um, a person who can make the other kids who come to their center most amazing people to learn from that.
Okay, so I'll repeat this. What made you choose Kumon and how did Kumon help you?
Again, I think towards the education system, one of the top franchisee which comes to my mind is Kumon. And Kumon has been, I think, one of the oldest franchisees which I know of, and which has helped not only kids from 3-year old up till the high school age. So they have their curriculum which is very, very advanced and learning which can help your child dive in. So that was my main reason to choose this particular franchisee. But as far as franchisee is concerned, what they help you is like they give you a lot of resources which you can study, which makes you a better person and a better instructor, I would say. They have a books on every, if you're talking about math, they have like a math book where you can learn all by yourself. Some of the people who knows, I have studied back from India and I did my master's, so I know a couple of things by myself. But then they have always those deep formulas where you can fresh up your skills. So I like that thing.
Okay, we talked about you being a mom. How did your mom play a role in upbringing you? What what do you think, really added up to you being you in your life by your parents?
I think what I remember during my childhood, my mom was a housewife, but her willingness for us to become the great person always is, I remember on top of my head. She always used to give us like hot food. She was always good on her responsibilities, which I think somewhere I try to be as well, because I think I have to be that person where not only I'm giving my kids those in-house food or those fresh food, but also teaching them towards the respect which they need to have towards the other individual. That's what my mom taught me always. You should respect your brother, your sister, your family members, and whatever, how much difficult time it comes, family is always there for you. So that's what I take her upbringing towards that level.
Right. And how, so you spoke about cooking, right? Like giving fresh food to your kids. What do you feel about women who can't do that, who work like more than 8 hours, don't have that capability to provide hot food? What do you think they should do, or, what, like in that situation, would you have done?
I don't know. There have been many days for myself as well where I am not able to, be the perfect mom, which you say that, and I don't have that. I don't be that guilt.
Mhm.
We handle the same responsibilities. What a man who does for an 8 hours job. Sometimes we are tired. We need a break too.
Mm.
We can order food online. We can have it. Kids enjoy it. We enjoy it. Yeah, of course, it's not every day. And I would say that there is nobody to judge, right? You yourself are your judge. You know what you're doing better for your kids. So I never judge a person whether you're giving a hot food. You as a mother, and so far as I know, are doing their perfect job. They are doing their best, even though they are working 8 hours. They come back with their leg hurting, whatever. They just cook. Or if they don't cook, they order, but they feed their kids. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah. And people say that it was easy for you for one or other reason. And did you had sleepless nights? Because I imagine you have twins, so they must be waking up together, maybe one by one. Did you have sleepless night? How did that got not easier day by day? Because yes, you got a franchise and now you own it. But what are the struggles of having it and then still struggling with the motherhood? Because now you're settled in your business. But then what makes it more harder by having kids, having sleepless nights? How do you manage it all?
I don't know. Sometimes people think that, you have family around, they can help you with the kids. But then I believe at the end point of time, it's just us. We have to take care of the kids. Of course, there are sleepless nights. When you have three kids around, one might have fever, another might have a nightmare. There are a lot of things. I have three kids. Three kids have different problems as far as the night goes. So we deal with it. We rise up every day at 6:30. We just think that okay, this will pass, and I'm hoping that once they go to kindergarten, everything will settle down. That's the hope.
Okay. You spoke about three kids having three problems, and earlier in one of the questions you talk about the special needs of your eldest one. Do you want to talk about it? What, what was he going through? How did you realize that? And did you went through a doctor to understand that he needs special needs?
I think we had a very amazing doctor when we were in Florida, and that they did the earlier diagnosis of my elder son that he is having some speech delays, or you have to work with him regarding his speech. And then in some of the generation, we say that voice speaks in a later stage, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But me and I think Chaitanya, my spouse, we were very alert that this is not something which is as far as age or boy factor. It is more about we feeling that he is having some different problem. So they had their whole process of how you have to go through. They did check his ears. We found out that he had some hearing uh, disability, that he's not able to hear properly. So we have to go through a small surgery. Then we went to speech therapy. With that being said, we also went to ADA to make sure that everything is particularly. We still have some of the things which we are going through. He has speech in school. He has some goals set up with the school as well. But then over a point of time, what what is difficult is when you're working with so many different kids, uh, and when you see your own child, you understand that there was something different.
Yeah.
There is something different in each and every child. So I just alert. This is I always try to speak out loud about my child that it's okay. It's okay if they are having some issues or they are having some problem, but then every child is not same. They all are different. They all have their different capabilities.
Right. And I would like to end this because I won't like to make it longer. One last question I have is that because now you have three kids and you spoke a lot of things about how different they are from each other, what part of your life or what learnings you think they should adapt from you, uh, for them to have it, or either you just wish they get it from you?
I think which my dad used to tell me, and then I believe myself, is just keep working harder. It's not that you will receive the fruit immediately, but then you have to understand that if you're working harder, there will be a time where you will get that fruit for you. So it is important to keep working harder.
So that got me curious because I told you this is my last question. Uh, why many people think that having an easy life is the way to go? Like, why to hustle so much? One life, make it easy, party hard, have fun time with family. What made you think that you should push in your career to and make it more difficult than just enjoying the life you have? Because you have three kids, you're literally full of responsibilities. So why did you choose to make it harder for yourself?
I don't know. I say sometimes, and I think myself too, why I have to do this.
Mhm.
I can sit, I can relax. Maybe like what will happen? We'll earn less. But then when I come at 3 o'clock and 3 to 7 in my center, and I see those smiling kids giving me hug, um, I teaching them sometimes algebra, sometimes addition. That gives me inner peace, right? And I never thought about it. That I will have that. But then if a job makes you happy, why not? Why not a little hustle in your life and do it?
Yeah, and let's sign off with that. If a job makes you happy, so as your personal life, why not have it? Thank you so much for being on this podcast, Shruti. This is one of a kind. And we would love to have more guests like you. But thank you for being our first guest.
Thank you so much.
Bye.